Hello, and thank you so much for clicking and for watching this video. Don't forget to leave me a like if you like, and subscribe to the channel and leave any thoughts, comments and feedback on the video, because all of that great stuff helps me when creating future content. Got a video I'm actually working on at the moment that I'm looking forward to hopefully releasing within the next couple of days. Tomorrow, I'm really hoping I can get it done by tomorrow, and what this is. But today I want to talk about something that's really important right now, something that's happening in the league. We could be looking at history, but the question is, can Spurs make history this season? Arsenal fans must be tearing their hair out. They're somewhere in the league. I had to look all the way down to see where they were. They must be tearing their hair out. But sitting at the top of the tree are Tottenham. Spurs, 11 games into the season, top of the league. Big game against Liverpool tonight. But the question is, can Spurs win the league? Can they go the distance? Or are they going to do a Spurs? We've seen it before. This season, Spurs fans were probably hoping maybe we could win a trophy, but now they're sitting at the top of the league. Yeah, going toe-to-toe with Liverpool, last season's runaway leaders. Manchester City are down in 6th, but they could be back down in 8th tonight, as far as I'm aware. I have to look at the table again. But for me personally, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Spurs are going to win the Premier League title this season, and I'm going to tell you why. Now let's start with the positives. I think Højbjerg and Ndombele have been the standout players for me when I've watched Spurs this season. I think Ndombele's improvements based on the performances that I saw from him last season have been outstanding. I think he's putting some man of the match performances, and for me that's really impressive. When I watch him, I think back to Mourinho's time at Old Trafford, and I think that's even though they're different players and they offer different things, I think that's the kind of player that he wanted Paul Pogba to be. Of course, correct me if I'm wrong, leave any thoughts, comments, feedback and all that wonderful stuff. But that's what I genuinely think when I'm watching Ndombele. I think Højbjerg's been really, really important as well. I think, of course, Son and Kane are the best partnership in the Premier League right now. I think the link-up play between them has been... I mean, we've seen it for years. And Son is such an underrated player. I'm always baffled that, as a United fan, that we are never linked with him, and I just think, why? I think years ago he would have been at United. I really do believe that, and I think Kane would as well, but unfortunately our recruitment is poor. But that's another story, that's another video for another day. But all that positive stuff aside, let's just talk about the man at the top of the tree, the man at the helm, Jose Mourinho. Now, rightfully so, people say he's a serial winner. He's a serial winner, and he's won everywhere he's gone. He's had success. He's won in Italy, Spain, won titles for Chelsea, Europa League, League Cup with United. He's just Porto. What an amazing achievement that was at Porto. Made them European champions, and that's what brought him to the attention of the rest of the world. That's what really put him on the world stage, really. Won the European Cup with Porto, no one expected it, and they deserved it. And they were the best team that year. They deserved to be European champions. Came to Chelsea, brought them the title, and the title after. But times have changed since then, and yes, when he came back to Chelsea, he won them the league. It ended badly there. I think we all remember a lot of the players just sort of downing tools, and it didn't end well for him at United. And since then he's sort of acquired this reputation as being a bit of a dinosaur, as being past it, as not being able to cut it at the very top level. And I think that is reactionary, because we react to things that we're reading or we're seeing, and we're not looking at the bigger picture. We're not looking at the bigger picture. We're not thinking, well, at Chelsea, players just let him down. I don't think he does himself any favours. Players let him down. At United, it was a very toxic environment towards the end, so he doesn't do himself any favours. But this idea that he's past it, he's over the hill, I've never believed that. But at Spurs, I am seeing a very negative approach to these games. And what I mean by that is, with the exception of the United game, and we were awful that day, we were shambles, but Spurs did what any top team should do. They went for the throat. They went for the throat. They were ruthless that day. They had the mentality that they could score 4, 5, 6, and they did score 6. And we scored 1, and we were winning that game. So, but since then, I haven't seen that from this Tottenham team. I've seen a Tottenham team that have kind of grinded out results, which of course we used to say, if you're not playing well and you can grind out a result, that's the sign, that's the mark of a top team. And I'll give him credit for that. But there are times where I watch Spurs and I feel like they're top of the league, but I feel like they're hanging on in games. They were hanging on against Crystal Palace. They sat back against Arsenal. They were 2 up against the biggest rivals, North London rivals, chance to put down a marker on the season. They got out with 3 points, clean sheet, Mourinho's happy. But really, at 2-0 when Arsenal are on the knees, why are you sitting back? I don't understand. And I feel like there's this little bit of a fear factor within Mourinho at the moment. Does he not trust his players completely? Does Mourinho not trust his players completely to not balls it up as to give like a simple term, a simple explanation? Like, what is it? Like, what is this? What is his philosophy? It seems to be, win at all costs, great, but that's it. And some people will say, and Spurs fans, because they've been starved of success for so long, they would probably say, it doesn't matter, it's the result that counts. And they're right, it is. Like, Mourinho is a serial winner, he's there to win trophies. What does it matter? At the end of the season, if you've got the league title, if you're the champions of England, and you look back on 40, 50 years, people aren't really going to be talking about the performances. But is it enough what they're doing at the minute? And I think there are chances that with the players that they've got, they should be dominating games, and I'm not seeing them dominate games at the minute. I'm seeing them. I think they can manage a game a lot better than they used to. But when things go awry, like the Crystal Palace game, when they're getting pegged back, when they're getting pushed back, there's no sort of reaction. And I under Poch, you felt like they score. It's almost the opposite. Under Poch, they would score a lot of goals, but they couldn't do it against the big teams. Now they're doing it against the big teams, but they're not scoring a lot of goals. Well, this league is about goals. This league is about goals. Any league is, to be fair. What am I saying? At every level you've got to score goals, and they're all goals in this team. But it's this sort of pragmatic approach, this way of playing, this kind of, we'll just get a goal and then we'll sit back. No, you're in the ascendancy. You're top of the league. You play on the front foot a little bit more. You want to see a bit more. And I think that the mark of a really good team is when things are going against you, when you concede a goal, how will you react? And I haven't really haven't really been in that position yet, Spurs, where they have sort of had to fight their way back into a game. They've not been in that position where they've been losing like 2-0 and they need something out of a game. It's been very comfortable at the moment. It's been very comfortable. It's been very like, we'll get a goal and then we'll just shut up shop, pot the bus, and that is ultimately, I think, what will cost Spurs the league title this season, because they don't have that ruthless streak. We've seen it once, as I say, against United, but apart from that, I've not been impressed. I've been impressed by the game management and the way that they've been able to see some of these games out. But really then, when I think about it, you know, when you're 2-0 up against Arsenal, North London derby, you're top, they're on the knees, somewhere down near the bottom of the table. You know, you want to see a bit more, don't you? You want to see them punish Arsenal. You want to see that ruthless streak, that clinical side. But they weren't, you know, for 45 minutes, they just sat back. And that is baffling to me. That is genuinely baffling. You can be 2-0 up against Arsenal, anyone, and play like the away team. So it's going to be very interesting, but I personally don't think Spurs will win the league this season. There are people out there that will definitely disagree. Some people might agree. Leave your thoughts and comments in the comments section. That's where most of the comments go. And of course, like, drop me a subscription for notifications on future videos. And if you like this video, leave a like. But there's a huge game tonight. It's Arsenal versus Southampton. I'm going to be talking about that in my next video. But until then, I will see you next time.